One of the most common questions that I get asked from anybody that's just starting out with CeMAP is, what is the difference between the three exams and where do I start? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the difference between FISRI, which is CeMAP 1, CeMAP 2, and CeMAP 3, and how I would start them if I was to do this all over again. So the first thing that we need to understand is there are three exams. However, some of them are split into two. So actually, to get fully CeMAP qualified, you're looking at taking 5 separate exams. We'll start with FISRI, which is CeMAP 1. A lot of people start here. Now, FISRI is 2 lots of 40 question exams. So to get your FISRI qualification, you have to sit 2 one-hour exams. They're 40 questions each. You have to get 70% on each unit to pass. You do get a textbook with FISRI. You have to order it from Amazon. It is very dry and it is very difficult. The thing that a lot of people don't realize with the FISRI qualification is it's spectacularly harder than CeMAP 2 and 3. So it's a level 4 qualification, which brings it up a notch when you compare it to CeMAP 2 and 3. So if you start there, you might find it a little bit tougher. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't do that. A lot of people do just do them in order. And I believe on the LIBF website, they recommend people do it that way. But what I found since January when the changes came into force, that actually there is a smarter way to do it that is more likely to guarantee you that pass first time. And that's to start with CeMAP 2 and 3. Because CeMAP 2 and 3 are level 3 qualifications, not level 4. So just to recap with FISRI, you've got 2 exams within FISRI that you need to sit. You can sit them separately, you can sit them back to back, it's entirely up to you. What I would recommend is sit the first unit first, and then if you pass it, you know your knowledge is good enough, you can jump into unit 2. That's only if you've studied the whole textbook together. If you've studied it topic by topic and you've studied it dependent on what they dictate has come under unit 1, you would obviously study for unit 1, sit unit 1, then study for unit 2. It's whichever way works best for you. What I would say is a lot of my students have fed back to say that actually there's a lot of crossover. So I've been recommending that people study the whole of FISRI and then sit unit 1. If they pass it, sit unit 2 straight away the same day. And they've been having really good success with that. But when people were splitting it for their studies, they felt like there was a little bit of a knowledge gap between the two. So that's entirely up to you which way you do it, but that's what I would recommend. So with CeMAP 2 and 3, you technically have 3 exams. And that's because CeMAP 2 is broken up into 2 separate exams that you can study for separately and sit separately. And I would recommend that you do that. So you've got MRT 1, which is the first half of CeMAP 2, and you've got MRT 2, which is the second half of CeMAP 2. MRT 1 is 50 questions. MRT 2 is 40 questions. There is more content in MRT 1, but the key thing to remember with this is you need everything from MRT 1 and MRT 2 to sit CeMAP 3. So once you pass MRT 1, you have to keep that momentum going for studying. Otherwise, there's a really good chance that that will drop off and you'll forget everything from MRT 1, which will make you fail CeMAP 3. So you can order the textbook from this. Again, you can order it from Amazon. And I believe they send them in 2 separate textbooks now, one for MRT 1, one for MRT 2. You can't get a textbook for CeMAP 3, but there is material that you need. It's all the life insurance and protection stuff, and you can download it from your My LIBF portal. Obviously, if you're using anything like my e-learning platform, you don't need to use any of the LIBF stuff. But if you're raw dogging it with the textbook, make sure that you get access to those downloadable PDFs because they are going to be really, really important. You can't pass CeMAP 3 without them. So if we know that CeMAP 2 is split into 2, MRT 1, MRT 2, CeMAP 3 is a little bit different. CeMAP 3 is the case study one. So you've got 60 multiple choice questions. However, they are case study based. What that means is you're going to get 6 case studies and your screen will be split right the way down the middle. You'll get case studies on the left-hand side, 1 question at a time on the right-hand side, and you have to answer the multiple choice question based on the case study. You also get these types of questions in your FISRI exam. So with both halves of your FISRI exam, you get 25 questions that are standalone multiple choice, and then you get 15 questions in either side that are case study based. I am going to do a lot more work on how to tackle the case studies because that tends to be what trips people up. And that's why a lot of people find CeMAP 2 is the easiest exam because they don't have to navigate the case studies. But for anybody that's just coming into CeMAP, what I would recommend is start with CeMAP 2 and 3. Because if you've been out of education a while, it's really daunting to go back into studying. For one, you are automatically studying a slightly easier qualification with CeMAP 2 and 3, whereas FISRI's level 4, it is more difficult. So if you build that nice foundation with MRT 1, MRT 2, and CeMAP 3, that puts you in really good stead to then step it up and tackle FISRI. Or that puts you in really good stead to then go on to tackle the harder qualification, the level 4 one, which is FISRI. That's the way that I would do it. And that's the way that when I work with people on a one-to-one basis, or when people are asking about booking the 5-day fast track courses, I tell them to book on the CeMAP 2 and 3 one first, because they are way more likely to pass first time. If it is that you're partway through your CeMAP studies and you're almost there with FISRI, keep going. There's no point stopping with that because you've done the work already. So do keep pushing with it. There's loads more free content that I can offer with your FISRI studies and with your CeMAP 2 and 3 studies that you can find on this channel, on the Future in Finance channel, and also the free versions of the e-learning platform. Make sure that you consume all of that. If you're looking to get it done quicker, you can look at a 5-day fast track course, which I have just brought back for 2026, and you'll get through it in 5 days. You don't need to do any prep for those. Or if a 5-day fast track wouldn't work for you because of other priorities, you can look at one-to-one coaching. I will link everything below in the description. I hope that's helped. And if you do have anything that you would like me to cover in future videos, please do let me know in the comments, because it's going to help me build more stuff that's going to help you. Either which way, good luck with your studies.